Welcome back to episode 3 of Tales from the Crips. I'm Laramie Taylor, the director, and let's meet our players.
Hey, I am Brendan Gregory. I have bipolar disorder. I am also an immunocompromised asthmatic. Additionally, I run the D&D website Kobold Think Tank.
Hi, I'm Corbin Kevelhan. My pronouns are he, they. I have bipolar and OCD.
Hi, my name is Brooke Binkowski, and my pronouns are she, they. And I have synesthesia and sensory processing sensitivity and PTSD.
All right, so this is episode 3 of the Slasher story. And when we last left off, all of our stars were separated into their individual groups. 2 of them came face to face with some rather nasty monsters, and there were casualties. And the 3rd group hit a treasure trove of information when they found a stash of old films. So what we're going to do is I'm going to basically give you an idea of where we're going from there and how you guys all meet back up, and then we are going to get into the next scene. Basically, after all 3 groups made their ways back to the lodge or out of the kitchen and to the main lodge proper, there is chaos going on all around. Others have seen things too. You're not the only ones. There are other people that are injured but escaped and survived. There are people that are missing. And at this point, the general manager of the lodge, David Deeney, is kind of losing control of the chaos and the mob. So Deputy Fang steps in, and as the authority figure, people are more equipped to listen to him, and so he kind of steps up and takes charge because everybody's just kind of running around screaming and freaking out. So he has decided that he is going to have himself and some of the more capable athlete types do some patrols throughout the night on the floor where all the rooms are, the 2nd floor, and also down on the 1st floor where the employees are, and check in on the staff lodge as well. And they're just going to basically kind of do patrols. He sets up a schedule of shifts with him taking point on all of that, and the point basically being to keep an eye on everyone and make sure that you get through the night. So dinner is very tense and quiet, and people are still kind of figuring out who's where and who's come back and should we go out looking for people. He's putting together the security, like I said, and starting to secure the 2 buildings. And not a lot of actual value gets done that night. It's mostly just kind of collecting everybody and trying to get some kind of stability and security going. The next morning, he wants everyone to meet up in the lodge lobby in the big great hall and have like a town hall where we're going to discuss everything that's going on and what to do about it. Word does spread fast at dinner, though, while everybody's still kind of tense, that different groups of people saw different things and encountered different things, and people quite likely died or are missing and unaccounted for. It's also gets around pretty quick that the film students who were in the building that is supposed to be the one that everybody stays out of, not only did not have anything happen to them, but they found this collection of videos or films and may have a lot of information. They're still going through them and watching all of them, and they're hoping to be able to use what they learned to help in the meeting the next day. So, is anybody doing anything overnight? Brandon, does Lucas volunteer to be a part of the security detail?
He definitely would, yeah.
Okay, so he takes a shift at some point during the night for a few hours. He's basically having people do like 3-hour shifts. So there's always a few people awake and around, and on the 1st floor, the 2nd floor, and out at the staff lodge, the staff building where all of their dorm rooms are, so that there's always somebody around. He has his revolver and his service weapon, and then he also has his shotgun from his car, from his squad car. But he does not have much beyond those two things. And Drew, the operations manager, keeps a few hunting rifles because there sometimes is some wildlife issues. He's never had to shoot an actual animal, but he will shoot in their direction to scare them off. Jenny's had to be coaxed away a few times because she can kind of cause some problems. Mostly she freaks everybody out because she's huge. But so you do have a few weapons, but people aren't even sure that weapons are going to do anything in this situation. Deputy Fang isn't quite sure that he buys this ghost or monster thing yet, but he also doesn't have a good explanation for what's going on or how any of this is happening. So the evening, you have an evening shift. Does anybody else volunteer, or you guys... No? Yeah, Steve is not the type to volunteer.
Yeah. No way.
And Vivian's already kind of working evening shift down at the front desk anyway, so you're kind of indirectly involved.
All this, and I still have to work.
Max is convinced that this is not a good time to play with the head because it would probably get shot at. So, reluctantly and with great disappointment, Max agrees not to play with it again.
Thank you.
So the evening is fairly quiet. There's a lot of false alarms of people like jumping at everything they hear or everything they think they see. But there isn't any real incidents that night. People are able to get some sleep as best they can and make a tally of who all's missing. And then the next day after breakfast, there's going to be the town hall. So you guys are at breakfast with your respective groups. Are any of you doing anything in particular, or are you wanting to go ahead and get to the meeting? Nope.
I think I turned to Max and I'm like, hey, Max, you did some research into the fire that burned the old building down, right? Like before we got here?
Yeah, I did.
Do you have any idea what caused it?
They don't know. Basically, it's all old newspapers I found on microfiche at the university library. They don't know, and arson departments weren't exactly very scientific back then, so they couldn't determine what caused it. It did start on the ground floor, and it spread from there. Again, like I said, they don't know. And the way the article was written, it sounded like of the 4 that died that night, one of them may have not died in the fire itself.
Oh, right. Like one of them died elsewhere?
They think that one of them, a young man, may have escaped the building only to cross the bridge and be hit on the road trying to escape.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So, yeah.
I mean, not cool. I mean, this is tragic.
Yeah. But it's kind of implied. They don't really give a lot of details. But that's what I'm assuming, is that they either escaped the fire or maybe they were already running when it happened. I don't know. But they weren't credited to the fire. They said something about an incident with a vehicle on the road. So.
Right. The people in those films, they seemed really sad.
It didn't look like they were having fun, no. Okay, so everybody finishes up breakfast and goes to this town hall meeting. Okay, so Deputy Fang waits for everybody to gather and sit around all the various places there are, and they're standing over in front of the big fire, which is not going this morning. And he waits for everybody to come in. Jane has set him up with the microphone and PA system that you guys have for when you're having parties out on the lake or out on the lawn. So he's got a microphone, people can hear him. Between everybody that's there, there's probably close to 50, 60 people that are here. And that's with a few people missing. So once it looks like everybody's settled in and that's everybody, he goes ahead and starts. Okay, so the storm has taken out the road, which also, or it took out the bridge and has taken down the phone line. I'm assuming that because I never came back from my shift, that they know that I'm out here somewhere, and they probably have figured out that I'm on the island. The boathouse was also badly damaged, and the boats are not currently usable, so we are stuck on the island for the moment. It's not going to be possible to move the debris that is blocking the bridge without a crane or a winch of some kind, and that we do not have here on any of the vehicles. That's going to have to be something that they bring in to tow off the big piece of tree that's blocking everything.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 small rowboats that could be used to get to shore, but then it's going to be a several-hour hike to town from there. The nearest town is not really out here. You know, it's a good 45-minute drive, so that's going to be several hours by foot easily, if not most of a day. My radio is not getting anything. I don't know what's down right now or what damage was done back in town where the sheriff's department set up. It's possible there's some damage there too. So for the time being, I am going to be, in as much as anybody can really be in charge of this, I'm going to try to be someone that you can look to for some direction and some stability. It's important that we not all go running off in different directions. I think that was made clear yesterday. We are currently missing 5 people. It's believed that 2 of them are dead. We are not sure about the other 3. I am going to be going and looking with a small search party. There were no bodies found in the staff room or in the kitchen from the incident that supposedly happened there last night, but the blood was everywhere. So we know that that's confirmed. I have also been told that there was a group of the spring breakers that were out there in the woods the other day that also had an incident, and one of you did not come back. That's 3. And then Mr. Deeney has told me that there are 2 staff missing, as well as the 2 that were unaccounted for in the break room last night. So the groundskeeper and the kitchen manager, and then the head of housekeeping and one of the boat mechanics are also missing. And we don't know where they were or what happened to them. They were on their own when everything went sideways yesterday. I don't know. We don't even have a story of where they were or what happened. I'm hesitant to believe the stories that I'm hearing. I believe that you saw what you saw. I believe that what happened is generally what you say happened. I'm not convinced that we're dealing with what people seem to think we're dealing with. I do believe it is entirely possible for people that are very much alive today to do things like this and to maybe want to gain notoriety by reenacting the dead and trying to scare a bunch of people. If that's the case, they've succeeded. But just to be safe, we are going to err on the side of caution and not rule anything out because we don't know. So everybody needs to stay in the lodge unless they are given permission to go elsewhere. If you are going elsewhere, there should be a good reason for it. We need to stay where you are most easily defended and where there are the least opportunities for problems that we can't contain. Here we know the exits, we know how to guard them and watch them. We can basically build a perimeter and keep things safe here until help comes. I am told that some of you are film students and you brought back some old films that may have some information.
Yeah, we found some old films in the abandoned property, sir, officer.
Okay, and whether or not this is legitimate or these people are playing characters, it's probably a good idea to know what was on those films so that we know, at the very least, what they're playing at or mimicking. So, what can you tell us? What have you discovered so far?
Um, well, so far there were films of people who used to live in the old abandoned lodge that burned down in the fire. And from our own research, it seems that four people were killed in that fire. And based on the films, it seems like those four people, well, are returned and seeking vengeance. Um,
Okay.
there's two small girls. There's a young man, and there's an older groundskeeper who seems to be the most, at least from the videos, seemed to be the most kind of physically threatening, aggressive kind of guy. The others seemed fine. They seem kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe death changes you. I anyway. Yeah. I wow,
Are
we're
you all
stuck.
right, son?
I'm I'm just it's all hitting me at once that these are ghosts and we're gonna die. We're all of us are going to die.
Take it
Should
easy. I don't think we're at that
should
point
I
yet.
come should I come around and slap you?
Do you say that to me?
Yeah. Should I come over there
Honest,
and help you slap get your head on straight?
honestly, baby.
Max turns your head and slaps you. I'm closer.
She is so
Cool.
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 All right. So, okay. The plan is to basically try to bunker down here. We have plenty of food and supplies. We can last literally weeks if we have to. And I don't think it's going to come to more than a couple of days before they get that bridge cleared and get out here or bring boats. It's harder to bring boats because the beach on that side isn't cleared for them. But in the meantime, does anybody here, since we are missing our lead boat mechanic, does anybody here have any mechanical aptitude? A few of the jocks raise their hands, as does Lane. Lane has an old car that he's working on.
Oh, old Jim might. Old Jim knows everything. Old Jim has a story about how he once fixed a car with chewing gum and a piece of string. Yeah, he has tactical mind.
Okay. So if we're going to try to get some of the boats up and running, we could use a hand with that. Any of you that are willing to do that, we can send you down to the boathouse with, I believe, Mr. Van Flower has offered to go ahead and take one of his hunting rifles to stand guard, and we can start working on that. The other is most important thing at the time at this moment is to, besides checking everybody that is injured, does anybody have any medical experience, any medical training? A few people on staff do have some basic first aid because insurance reasons. But One or two of the cheerleaders raised their hands here. They're in nursing school.
Old Jim also raises his hand.
Tam and Alice both indicate that they do. Okay, so we have set up a small, lack of a better term, infirmary over in the corner of the dining hall, where we've moved a couple of beds down, and anybody that is injured and needs to be under watch and supervision is going to be staying there. We have one or two people already there. Hopefully we don't have to add to it. But that is our main concern right now, is just keeping everybody safe, keeping everybody where we know where they are. And if we do have to go out, like I said, with the boathouse, somebody who is armed goes with them. With that, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do whatever it is you're going to do. Just keep in mind what I said. Please try to keep it down. Try not to get too out of hand. I understand you are on spring break, and I understand that this is also a very awkward time. So I'm going to have some leniency here, but don't make me regret it. Just try to be appropriate. Leaves it at that. So Lucas and Vivian both just heard that Steve seems to know quite a bit.
I'm definitely, that's what I was going to do. I was going to go right up to him and ask him. Yeah.
And Vivian learned a little bit last night from Drugan before things went sideways too. So, okay, so you guys all meet up over at the Film Kids table.
Okay, so Steve?
Hi.
It's Steve, right?
Yeah, I'm Steve. I'm sorry, what's your name again?
I'm Lucas.
Lucas, right,
So,
yeah.
I wish we were meeting under better circumstances, but you said they might be looking for what, vengeance or revenge? What was that about?
I don't know. I don't know if they're looking for revenge. I think some of them seem more lost than others. I think, I don't know, looking at videos of these people while they were alive, they don't seem, aside from the groundskeeper, who's a whole different kind of guy, most of them seem just like kids, like they were kids who were tucked away in that cottage and kind of forgotten about.
Paige says
Because
they look like they were possibly disabled in different ways at a time when, if you had something that wasn't a physical disability, they didn't really know what to do with you. That kind of a thing. Like the little girl that we all saw in the boathouse has Down syndrome. She loved to dance, would always wear that tutu and do ballerina dances and things like that.
So wait, I kicked a little girl with Down syndrome?
Yes, so it's even worse than
oh
my
you
God.
initially thought.
I hit her with a shoe.
I'm so sorry.
I threw her in the
I
water.
hit her with a shoe.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she was trying to eat you, so.
Yeah, I mean, there were extenuating circumstances, but I don't.
I kind of get the impression that it's not entirely them, or that if it is them, they are changed and not necessarily in control of it. So I wouldn't feel too bad.
You blame me
I
for
do.
being pissed off, though.
Yeah. I do feel like, though, if we got a shot, maybe we could communicate with her.
Do you want
I
to
just-
try with her first or one of the others?
Well, she might not like me very much because I did hit her with a shoe, but she seemed like maybe the most reachable right away. I mean,
Max nods and says, yeah, of the three, I mean, we're not talking about trying to find and talk to the groundskeeper. I think that's a bad idea. But
No,
of the
he
three kids,
sucks.
she's probably going to be the easiest one to talk to. The older girl doesn't talk much at all, and the boy has anger issues. So, yeah, I think it's probably our safest bet is to try to figure out a way to draw the little girl's attention if we can.
based on the video, she likes candy and she's very into like attention. Like she loves having attention paid to her.
And
Um,
music.
Can we
and music.
can we like maybe gather up a bunch of candy and I don't want to like go trying to draw the attention of any of these where Sheriff Buzzkill's going to be like watching over us because he might not let us do it. I kind of get the feeling that if he realizes we're trying to like bring one of these things to us, he might shut that down for obvious reasons. So maybe we can find somewhere that we can have ourselves a little like wink wink nudge nudge dance recital and see if we can like attract her.
I just feel like this is the classic movie thing, right? You find the ghost's unfinished business or whatever, and then they stop being terrible, dangerous monsters, right? Am I crazy? Is that a good plan?
And that's how it
But,
usually works in these kinds of things.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
Okay, do we
What do you
want
think,
to
Lucas?
whose room should we use? Because we
Um,
probably want to do it somewhere that isn't out in the open in case it does work and people lose their shit. We want to use one of our rooms.
You could use my room.
You actually have, yeah, you have a larger area than like a hotel room. You have like small apartments. Each of you guys have little one bedroom apartments, basically.
You could use my place. It's a little bigger, and you can use it as long as you need to. I say to Max.
Can we like come up with an excuse that he might let us go over to your place?
um, sure. We just need to talk about what we've seen in private. It's been very overwhelming, and I think that we could say we're working on a project so that we can sort out our feelings about the trauma we felt.
We're vision boarding.
Vision boarding. Yes.
Okay. Sure, if you guys think you can sell that to him.
Yeah, why not? He already thinks we're cranks.
Is there any... Okay, so we need to keep the group small, but not too small. Okay, me and Paige, you three. Is there anybody you want to bring along, Lucas?
I don't. I'm feeling bad about this. Just I don't have a lot of experience fixing problems with violent people. I have a lot of experience just getting out of the way.
Well, if
And
we
so
end up finding a way to summon this, one of these things, we're gonna need somebody there that can help us. Like,
I will
if it
definitely
goes
be
bad
there.
and they aren't talking.
Yeah, I will definitely be there, but it's as far as solving their problems, that is very unfamiliar for me.
Okay, you
So
can come
I'll
along
be there to protect
for
you, but
muscle.
yeah.
Okay. Can we think of anybody else that would be good for an emergency?
Is Max coming?
Yeah, Max and Paige are coming.
Okay.
Do we know anyone
You're good.
who do we know anyone who has like some medical knowledge that maybe would be good in an emergency?
But didn't Tav raise her hand, the cheerleader?
Tam and Alice both did, yeah.
Uh-huh. It's maybe one of them.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the Asian and black cheerleaders, those two? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas, you know them, right?
Yeah, you want to invite
Mhm.
them to come with us?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right, go grab them and then come back here and we'll go talk to Cool Hand Luke and see if he'll let us go into the staff lodge.
Okay.
For a vision
Okay.
board.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Vision boards.
So they send Lucas off to go get
uh-huh.
Tam and Alice. Right now, there's only one injured person. It's a housekeeper, and they look like they have a broken leg. The leg has been strapped to something straight. They like got a like broom handle, and were able to affix, tether it to that to keep the leg straight and pop it back into place at least, so that it's set and can start to heal. but it will need a cast at some point. So that person's just kind of chilling in the bed. There's 3 beds set up over in the corner of the dining hall. And Alice and Tam seem to be overseeing things along with a few of the lodge staff. Jane knows a decent amount of first aid and CPR and things like that, as does Drew, although Drew is down at the boathouse overseeing repairs on the boats. So it's going to be Jane is over there right now kind of playing Nurse Ratched while you've got the 2 nursing students assisting. So you want to go try to peel them away?
I do. Yeah, it's looking at both Tam and Alice. Are either one of them kind of like off by themselves so I could talk to them privately?
The 2 of them are over away from the housekeeper and Jane. Like they're around if they're needed, but they're not right there. And Jane is basically just chatting with the housekeeper. They know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you can approach the 2 together without too much problem.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to go try to pull them aside.
What's up, Lucas?
So, hey, so we had a crazy idea. We seem to think that rather than just avoid this problem, we can solve it.
Tam says, well, first of all, who is we?
Okay, there's one of the film students, Steve.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, 2 more of them, Max
They
and
saw
Paige.
some films about things, right?
They did. They saw some footage, and that's where they got the idea. They think we can solve this problem.
Okay, we're listening.
And so that I know is not a far stretch. What is the far stretch is we're going to try to draw one of these ghosts out.
You're going to try to draw one of them out?
Yes, like to us. And if we
not
get
getting killed
hurt,
fast enough for your liking? I mean,
if we get hurt, we would need medical attention.
what are you expecting to happen other than getting hurt? It sounds like that's not what you're expecting.
Steve and Vivian is one of the lovely workers here. They seem
The
to
night
think we
desk,
can
yeah,
yes,
okay, yeah.
the night desk. They seem to think we can solve this problem, and I'll be honest. If we're going to solve it, I would feel a lot more comfortable with one of you there, just in case we don't solve it.
Okay. Tam and Alice kind of look at each other. Rock, paper, scissors. Alice wins. I'll go.
Okay. So,
Tam
Alice,
says, you do bring up a good idea, though. It's probably would help if the people down at the boathouse had somebody with medical knowledge in case anything happens down there. I mean, just fixing boats, you can injure yourself. So Tam
yeah.
is going to ask the sheriff to escort her down to the boathouse, or the deputy to escort her
Yeah.
down to the boathouse so that she can. She's like, your friend Lane's down there, right?
He is, and he was really worried about you in particular, so
Was
maybe
he?
you should check in with him. Yeah.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay, well, I'll go keep an eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she excuses herself and goes that way, and Alice is like, all right, which way do we go?
So, Alice, let me introduce you to some film students and Vivian.
Okay, so she follows you.
Mm-hmm.
Young, mixed Asian woman, kind of a long bob, about chin length. Cute, not particularly tall or particularly muscular or curvy, just kind of average height, slighter build. She's like, okay, so
Okay. So, everyone, this is Alice. She has some medical experience.
she waves.
This is Steve.
Hi.
This is Max and Paige.
Max and Paige wave.
and this is Vivian, and she's the closest thing to someone in charge here with this operation.
Max
Chucky.
says that's a good idea. As we can pitch it as you're our group leader because you work for the staff in a position of authority. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to be in a.
They might even give you a gun.
Well, I'm not really that enthusiastic about it, but the coolest woman I've ever seen is suggesting it. So I'm like, yeah, I'll be. I've got keys. I can get you into all the secret rooms.
There we go. Okay, so we still need to sell this to the deputy. Since we're pretending that you're our faculty advisor, I guess we'll say, you want to do the talking, Vivian?
To
To the deputy?
to
To get him to let
Banks?
us leave?
Yeah, okay, I'll try. I'll do my best. I'm not I'm not a cop whisperer, so I'll see what I can do. But I can, you know what? I'm a professional. I can hold it together. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Tell him all about the vision boarding. It'll be great.
I will. I'll tell him all about it. He'll love hearing about it.
Because the group kind of sidles over to the deputy. He was talking to a few of the football players, about security patrols and things like that, and a few of the staff. Lewis and Owen have been roped into patrolling security, so that'll be fun because they're totally reliable. He notices that you guys have come up and looks at you guys. Something up? Can I help you?
Yeah. Deputy, I was just going to take a group to my room. I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be going to my quarters. We had this idea that.
That's just over in the staff lodge, right?
Yeah, just over in the staff lodge. We had this idea that we could. You're going to laugh, but we decided to vision board our way off this island, and we thought that if we really just put our minds together and worked on it together, that we could manifest a rescue.
I don't really care what you guys are doing. It's not important to me right now. I have bigger things. If you guys want to go over there, that's fine. You're night management, so you're on the totem pole. If he trusts you to run the lodge at night, then I'm sure he doesn't. Deanie wouldn't mind you taking a group of people off. Anyway, yeah, just stay where you say you're going to be in your quarters, right? Over in the staff lodge? Okay.
Yes.
Stay there, come straight back when you're done. And he looks at Lucas, being the most beefy security looking one of the group, unholsters his service sidearm and hands it over butt first.
Whoa.
Thanks.
You are in charge of their safety. If anything happens to them, you're answering for it.
Okay. I can,
Max was right.
it's my job to keep everyone safe. So, yeah.
All right.
Do you even know how to shoot that thing?
No, I don't. Shh.
He shows you where the safety is. Other than that, point and squeeze. Don't
Okay, so
pull.
safety. I pull back on this, and I'm safe when I pull this back, right?
No, safety's on right now.
Oh,
You take that off if you need to use it.
so you engage the safety to do harm, not to make it
The
safer.
safety is on. You turn the safety off. He shows
Okay.
you flip it this way, it's off. Flip it this way, it's on. So it's on
Okay.
right now. If you need to
Just
use
stick it with
this,
the pointy end.
if you need to use this, you flip it the other way before you do anything because it's not going to
Okay.
do anything otherwise. And don't pull the trigger, don't snap the trigger, you just squeeze. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And aim for the
think-
center mass, aim for the center of the body because you're more likely to hit. Don't go for headshots. Just shoot center mass.
I mean,
Okay.
guns don't work on ghosts, so I don't even know why we're having this conversation, but whatever.
Well-
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Fang shrugs and says, I'm still not convinced we're dealing with ghosts, but some very real things happened for ghosts. So, anyway, you guys go do your thing. Let me know how it goes. And
Thank you, Deputy.
he gets back to what he's doing. So you are cleared to go ahead and head out and over to your quarters in the staff lodge. So, Vivian, you want to describe your little abode here?
Yes. So it is a very cluttered little place because it's larger than a room, but it's my quarters. Vivian is still an artist, despite the fact that she swore off art school. So she's got like these, sort of half finished paper mache sculptures everywhere that she works on in her off time, in varying degrees of you know, realism. She is there's papers, a desk in her bedroom, and like different colored papers everywhere because she's making paper mache sculptures. And there are a couple of posters, one's of The Cure and the other one's of Depeche Mode, because those are her two favorite bands at this moment. And everything else is just sort of, scattered all over. She also has a few books because she likes to hang out in her place and read. So there's books on a shelf, actually there's a lot of books on a lot of shelves in her bedroom and in what passes for a living room, and there's even a few in her little tiny kitchenette. So the overall effect is cluttered but cozy and not extraordinarily messy, and she's very relieved that it's not extraordinarily messy because usually it is.
Okay, so there's plenty of room for everybody there in the living room. I mean, it's not huge, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you, so that's not too many people. It's literally right across the walkway. There's just a small covered walkway. It has a bit of a tin roof on top to keep it dry while you're crossing from building to building in the rain. And it's maybe 20 feet apart from the lodge itself. So it's not that far. And then it's just down the sidewalk to her particular unit. And being that she is the night manager, she actually has one of the bigger, nicer units. Further down the line, you're more in like dorm style where you're bunking with other people. But she has her own little place. So it's late morning. You guys, hang on a second. Okay, so it's early or late morning, not quite afternoon yet. It's late morning. You guys finished the group meeting or the little town hall, and you are here to do your vision boarding. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So basically what you're trying to do, I'm assuming, is you're trying to create an environment that might draw that specific entity out. Mm-hmm. Is what it sounds like. Okay. Max has some classical music and brings a CD. So you have that to work with. And
CD player's right over there, Max.
And Paige gathered up a bunch of candy and has it like all in a bowl on the middle of the floor. So she looks at Max. How do we do this? Are we like... It's not a seance. We're not like summoning a ghost or anything. What do we... Max shrugs. I've never done this before.
Can I roll brains with knows about movies to figure out what to do?
Go for it.
5, 1, 2 4s.
Basically playing the music, having the candy out, just kind of trying to lure their attention is not a bad idea. What were you going to say, Brooke?
Did we any of us find out any of the names of these original the people behind the entities? Was there any way we could have found out anybody's names, especially local?
No, we knew the groundskeeper's name.
His last name, because it's on his uniform. It says Mahoney. But the other three, the article in the paper didn't have names because they were minors and that didn't want to, it was kind of kept quiet to begin with. So there are no names that you have to go from.
Okay. I mean, so she was the music that we heard when she showed up was the Sugar Plum variation, right? From the Nutcracker Suite. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's something special about that particular song, that little melody.
It's not. Brooke, roll me Vivian's brains with a +1 for perceptive.
Is that 5d6?
Yes.
Or she's normal? Okay.
5d8.
5d8. Two sixes, an 8, a 2, and a 5.
Okay. Actually, I can do one better than Max's just classical music. It would have occurred to you that Jane probably has Christmas music for holiday events. And among them is the Nutcracker.
Nutcracker. Yes, of course.
So she would have let you have the CD without really asking too many questions.
Got this Christmas music here.
Okay.
So we can just pop it in and see if that works. We
All
can
right,
listen to
so
the classical CD later.
you put that in, you've got the candy bowl out, kind of all sitting around, looking, waiting, hoping. Song's playing for a few minutes. Alice is kind of sat next to Lucas, doesn't really know the other people that well. And Paige and Max are both just kind of chilling. They're not particularly clinging to Steve, but they're not too far away from Steve. Go ahead and everybody give me a brains roll, perception based.
I do little details.
Yep.
That's 5d8 again for me? Okay. 2 1s, 5, 6, 4, and 2 1s.
Okay, it's not a kill scene.
Threes.
3 threes. Steve?
2 2s.
Okay. So Steve and Vivian catch movement out of the corner of their eye and look over a certain way. Lucas actually saw the door to Vivian's bedroom close and a small figure go into the bathroom and close the door.
Hey, Vivian,
Yeah.
there's someone in your bathroom.
Like someone in a pink tutu?
I don't know.
Alice.
But all of us are here.
Alice says maybe it's her.
Maybe. I guess I'll go check since it's my place. So with trepidation, Vivian goes and tries to open the bathroom door.
Okay, you open the bathroom door and look in, and facing the tub, you see the same little girl that you saw out in the boathouse two nights before, with her back to you.
Shit, do I have any candy?
Did you bring some with you?
I'm gonna retcon this. Yes, I did. I got a handful of it in my pocket. Just in case it was her.
Okay.
I pull out a sweet from my pocket and I say, little girl? Lucas, you got my back, right? Little girl? Like I'm dealing with a feral cat.
You open it up.
And
You open up the package and hold it out.
would you like some candy, kiddo? I mean, here you go.
Roll spirit for me.
All right.
No bonus, no
Spirit is-
negative.
Spirit's good, so that's 5d8?
Yeah. The 48.
48.
Yeah, no bonuses.
46 if it's good.
46. Yeah, 46. Yeah, sorry.
Shit, sorry.
46. My bad.
Oh, good. 2 2s, a 4 and a 6. A 2 2.
Yep. The little girl turns her head slowly like she did before. But you're not hearing the music box because you're hearing the music coming from the living room on your stereo. And when her head turns far enough, you see that she looks normal. She has a face. And she is a cute little 8 to 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who smiles and reaches out for the candy. You've seen prettier smiles, but you know, it's the 30s and she probably ate a lot of candy, so. And she takes it and starts kind of nomming on it and is looking up at you while she's doing that. She's standing there facing you now. Doesn't have a huge mouthful of teeth.
You can have all the candy you want, kiddo. You wanna come meet my friends? This is kind of a okay. Yeah, let's here. You wanna take my hand? Oh God.
She reaches out, small hand takes yours.
All right, kiddo. Let's go say hi to my friends. And I'm
You
just
lead her
like,
out of the room?
God. Yeah, I'm gonna lead her out of the bathroom. I am terrified she's gonna turn and just start eating my hand, but her little hand's in mine, and she is extremely adorable.
Right now she's nomming on the candy
Yeah,
with her other
okay,
hand,
cool.
so she's so far not turning feral. And you guys see Vivian come out of the bathroom with this little girl
Hey guys.
eating candy, being kind of shy and pressed up against Vivian.
Hi.
Hey.
Max is like, holy shit, it worked.
Vivian is terrified, but
Alice is kind of
triumphant.
leaning back a little like, whoa, what the hell? But she's not bolting. She's getting ready, but she's not bolting yet.
So, do you have a name, little girl?
She kind of looks around. She's swaying a little bit with the music.
Would you mind telling us your name? I'm Lucas.
And I'm Steve.
She looks at you for a minute, Lucas, and then looks at Steve. And there's nothing in her gaze to suggest that she remembers you. So you may not have to worry about that at the moment. You got 3 5s, you said, right, initially on your perception roll, Lucas? Earlier?
Sorry, 3 3s.
3
Yeah.
3s, okay. You do see that there is a bit of a footprint on the chest of her unitard.
Dude, you totally kicked that little girl.
But she doesn't
I say
seem
that.
to like. And she kind of looks, and then she sees the bowl of candy, and her eyes go bigger. She like stops mid chomp, looks up at Vivian, down,
Go ahead. Yeah.
lets go of your hand, and kind of moves and sits down on the floor with the bowl of candy. Finishes the piece that she's eating. Meredith, she says.
Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Meredith.
She waves
Hi.
with one hand while she kind of flips through the candy with the other, seeing what all is in there.
Am I close to Steve?
Sure. I mean, you're
Okay.
all in a small living room, so it's not
Okay.
like...
I'm
yeah.
gonna pull Steve aside and say, I don't know that her problem was not having enough candy. Do you have any other ideas what her problem was?
Her like unfinished business.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think this all the way through. I just
You
thought
didn't think this through?
I panicked and there was a lot going on, and I thought
Okay,
maybe we could talk
Steve,
to
it's
her.
okay. It's okay.
Maybe let's. I got the feeling from the
Uh-huh.
videos that the groundskeeper was not a great presence in their life, to put it politely.
Okay.
I think maybe we can get their help to put him away. But maybe
Okay.
that's insane. Maybe I don't know what's happening. Maybe
I mean, this
I'm
is
just
working so
some
far.
guy.
No, I get that. Maybe could you talk to her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see
Both
if
of
I
you?
can
Okay.
see if I can find anything out.
Yeah, Vivian. Yeah.
Meredith, kiddo,
She looks up.
are your mom and dad around here?
They might be at the lodge.
Do you know their names? Can you tell me their first and last names so I can look for them? I work here.
Steger.
Meredith Speaker? Thank you.
They stay
Um,
in the lodge while we're in the house.
What house?
It's a small house.
I think it's the abandoned building.
Oh, that makes sense. Um, well, do you want to go try to find your parents with me, Meredith? Or do you want to stay here? You want to stay here with some candy? Okay. I don't want to accidentally trigger.
They
trigger
wouldn't
you,
let
but-
me have it.
No, they wouldn't let you have candy?
They would take it away.
Who would your parents? Oh, okay. Um, I'm running out of questions to ask because I'm trying to not, set her off.
Mhm.
I want to ask her about the
Hey.
groundskeeper, but I don't want to scare her.
Hey,
Do you need that?
Meredith, do you know where any of the other kids are?
Oh, thank you, Steve.
She kind of looks. They're around.
Do you talk to them? What do they say?
Stuff.
Meredith, are you safe
Are you
here?
done? Thank you.
It seems safe here.
Okay. But not
Here.
in the house.
At the lodge.
Chip keeps me safe.
Okay. Who's Chip?
Who's Chip?
He's my friend. I don't have a brother, but he's like a brother.
I think Chip was the older boy who also passed.
She doesn't seem to register what you're saying, so.
Meredith, what does he keep you safe from?
Mr. Mahoney.
I'm looking very, not pointedly, but I'm like, I look at Steve and Lucas, okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
Meredith, do you remember anything about the fire?
Well, a little bit.
What do you remember?
Chip snuck out again, and Mr. Mahoney got mad. And I didn't mean to, but I knocked a lamp over.
Oh, sweetie, it wasn't your fault. What does Mr. Mahoney do to you when he gets mad?
I couldn't hear you.
What
What?
does Mr. Mahoney do when he gets mad?
He can be mean. He was mad at Chip for sneaking out. And I didn't want him to catch him, so I started dancing and got in his way, and he pushed me, and I knocked the lamp over. I don't remember much after that.
So you didn't really, you got pushed into the lamp. You didn't knock it over. It wasn't your fault.
It wasn't?
No, of course not. No, you were dancing.
Okay.
Would it be okay if we went to see if we could find Chip, maybe?
You can try. He didn't get away. He's still here.
We'd like to talk to him about Mr. Mahoney.
He doesn't like to talk much, but you can try.
Okay.
Could you help us talk to him?
Um, I'm looking at your qualities here real quick. She's going to need some convincing if you want her to get him.
Right.
This might be best for Lucas, who has courageous, to maybe kind of try to instill some of that in her.
Okay.
So if you want to give her a good little pep talk and make a roll for me.
Okay. So Meredith, I I know this is hard. I know you're scared, but I think Chip needs your help. I think Chip needs our help. And even though this is hard, I think we could help Chip together if you try to get us in touch with him and let him know that we're safe. Do you think you could do that?
I can try to find him. I just don't
Okay.
want Mr. Mahoney to find him. Or me.
Well, we're going to do our best to protect you from Mr. Mahoney, but at the same time, I need you to take a step. Okay? Can you do that? Can you just step with us, take one step?
She gets up, squats down real quick to grab another piece of candy, and then starts walking for the front door.
I'm going to follow her.
No, this-
Yeah.
She looks around when she gets outside, like she's trying to figure out where she is. Makes a little bit of a face confusion because it's either possible that the staff lodge didn't exist when she was here, or that she's just never been to it to be on that part of the property to know where she is. So you kind of get the idea that she's lost and not sure where to go. Do you want to try to take her somewhere that she might recognize to orient her, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you lead
Like
her
there's-
out.
There's a really old part of the lodge that I can take her to.
Okay, so you take her out around the building, and once she sees the lawn going down to the lake and the half-wrecked boathouse in the distance, she kind of figures out where she's at. She looks around, sees, nods, and starts skipping off in the direction of the woods towards where, Lucas, you met him 2 days ago.
So I'm assuming Chip is the one that killed Felix.
Yes.
Okay.
She's skipping off in that direction.
From the videos, Chip seemed like he really liked he was into baseball, and he seemed like he liked to hang around like other like athletes, like young men, not like me young men, more like you young men. So maybe you should approach him when we get there.
Okay, I can do that.
Are you guys staying with her? Because she's
Yeah.
just happily skipping off on her way, whether you're coming or not. So
But I mean, if you need help, we'll try to get you out of there as fast as possible. Like, if you
yeah,
rush
so
into
she's
something,
skipping
we'll-
off that direction. You pass by a certain area that Vivian was made aware of several days ago by Lewis and Owen. You don't stop there, luckily. You keep going. It's past that, so you don't have to worry about that being discovered. And then she's already kind of off the trail and not really following the trail. It's possible the trails are more modern than she is because she just goes into the woods. But she comes to the area where you were the other day, Lucas and Alice. And Alice is starting to get a bit nervous as you get there. And there's no body. Felix's body is not here, but you know this is where you were when it happened.
Vivian, is there any sort of body collection service on this island?
Well, not
Every
on the
lodge has
island.
one, yeah.
I mean, it's true, but they're off island. I mean, we've got the cleanup
Okay.
people the forensic cleanup, but nobody who will come out into the woods and do it. Not like that. No.
Okay.
But yes, That's a hotel's dirty little secret.
It was also mentioned that there were no bodies in the staff room or the kitchen, the staff lounge or the kitchen last night either. When they went to look, they found blood, but they didn't find bodies.
Is there blood in this area of the woods? Yeah.
If you go looking for it, roll me brains with perception bonuses. Otherwise, it doesn't look like it, but you can roll.
Okay. I'll roll. Ooh, 2 3s. I'm really regretting taking unperceptive as a quality. It actually sucks.
Okay, so you actually both see an area where the grass is a bit blood-stained, and you can even see what you think might be a couple of teeth. And you see it's been over 24 hours, but you can see where there might be tracks, like where a body got dragged off further into the woods. So somebody moved it. Just a matter of who. Okay,
what
so
is
she's
Meredith? Yeah.
She's stopped in this area and was kind of looking around.
Sorry guys, hang on. Someone's knocking at my door.
We will take a break for one short second.
Man, I know I'm old because I'm like, who's knocking at this hour?
Right.
It's 7:20. It's after dark. You don't come to my door after dark.
Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh. The last thing I want to do. Yeah, I mean.
Unless it's Prince himself.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was.
Because he used to go witnessing. I think that's
Really?
amazing
Really?
that you could be sitting there and Prince is at your door wanting to talk to you about the Watchtower.
You're gonna make me freaking answer the door next time somebody knocks, and then I'm gonna end up with I made the mistake of talking to some Jehovah's Witnesses one time just about theological stuff because I thought it was interesting, and then they never stopped coming back.
Oh, no.
Like, hey, Brooke, and I was like, I just
You all good, Corbin?
Yeah. It was just my landlord. They're doing like stuff, so
Okay.
it's all good.
Okay. So yeah, 4, 3. Okay, so she's looking around like she's trying to see if he's here. Chip?
Meredith, what does Chip like? Does he like things? Does he like candy? I've got a pocket full of candy.
He likes his sports. She's looking around. Chip?
Lucas, that's funny. You.
And out of the woods, stalking forward, you see a young man that looks familiar, Lucas, with his shoulders squared kind of forward, stalking forward determinedly, and he's got a baseball bat in his hand. He's a good 30 feet away, but he's coming your direction. He's not running, but he's very intentionally striding forward.
I'm going to try my best to look non-threatening, but I am definitely going to position myself between the other people and him.
Alice moves behind you. Yeah, instinctively. Meredith is the furthest one out. And so when she sees him coming, she waves at him. They gave me candy, she says. And he slows down a little bit. He continues moving forward, but he's not as aggressive. And he's moving more towards her now and not the rest of you. So
Hey, Chip, do you like football?
He walks up, gives you kind of a look. And when you see him, he's half torn up like you saw him before. He doesn't look normal like she does.
Uh-huh.
He stops where Meredith is and kind of goes down on a knee to talk to her for a minute, giving you the very pointed look before he does at your question. And he converses with her for a moment. You can't hear what they're saying. They're about 10 feet away. And she's nodding her head, and she's shaking her head. And There's a moment, and when he straightens back up, he looks completely normal. He's not scarred up. He's still a little wary, but it seems to have changed whatever his state is enough that you notice a difference, that he doesn't have all the road rash and everything anymore. He looks normal like she does. And he follows her over warily. And his hands got the bat, and he's kind of twirling it a little bit in his wrist at his side. But he's not making any aggressive moves yet. And he comes up to the group, looks around, looks at you, nods his head.
Hey, it's Chip.
Mary says you gave her candy.
We did. Yes.
I've got more if you want a piece.
Do you want?
I've got.
Do you want
No,
some?
Pockets,
probably
please.
shouldn't have done that, but can't help
Why?
it now. All right,
Why not?
because if he finds out, she gets in trouble.
Are you talking about, is it Mahoney? Is that?
He looks at you sharply when you say the name.
We don't like Mahoney.
Nobody
Really,
does,
Mahoney.
except Doc, but he works for Doc, so... Look, we can't talk here. It's out in the open.
Where should we go?
This way.
Okay.
And he waves you over and off into the woods in another direction. And you go out a bit further and you come to an area that Vivian has never been to. It's not like you go just wandering the woods for fun. There are wild animals out there. It could be dangerous. And you go out far enough and it starts to kind of all look the same. You would not be able to find your way out of here if you tried. But eventually you come to what looks like a little fort that was made by kids, young adults. He gestures that way. And Meredith goes skipping off to go into the fort. And he looks back at you guys and reluctantly waves you to come in.
Okay. I'm going to follow him in.
Okay, it's a small shed-sized building. It's maybe 6 foot by 8 foot. It's not too big. But it is a nice little structure. You can see they pieced it together from different things. And it's got all kinds of different junk in it. And he sits down on the ground in there. And Meredith's over in the corner, and she's playing with a few little dolls and eating her candy and just minding her own business. What do you want? You shouldn't be talking to us.
Is Mahoney still giving you trouble?
When isn't he?
We want to stop him.
Good
We would
luck.
Really like to stop him.
Do you know of any way we could do that?
I can't take him. I've tried.
Okay.
But if there's enough of you, maybe.
There's a lot of them.
Steve, you know more about these things. Do you know anything else?
Yeah. Maybe if we could find the other girl here, maybe the three of you,
Penny?
do you think? Yeah.
I know where Penny is.
Okay. Will you take us to her?
Can we find her?
He could be there too.
Hmm. Well,
We're free
We can
now.
come back.
We can kind of go where we want, but She doesn't leave the house. I stay out here mostly because he doesn't know about out here. Here
Oh.
specifically.
So what if we went to where he was, and if it went badly, we could run off and hide here and try again? Would that be possible, Chip?
You want to go find him, or are you looking for Penny?
We're looking for Penny, but we would like to try to stop Mr. Mahoney. We'd like.
All right.
Cool. Are you sure you don't want a piece of candy, Chip?
No. You see what it does to people's teeth. All right. Uses the bat like a stick, like a cane, push himself up to his feet. Mary, you stay here. We're going to go try to find Penny. Okay, she waves without looking back.
I go drop off another piece of candy just because I'm very fond of her now.
She's like, yay. Okay, so Chip steps back out with you guys. There's no way to get over to the house without going somewhere where we're in the open. And that's the risky part.
I think we have to do it.
Maybe, yeah, maybe we just go fast, or could we use disguises? Is that no, right? No.
We can either go around the lodge or we can go along the lake. Going along the lake's probably safer. He sticks to the lodge area. He might not see us down at the lake.
That sounds like the way to go.
Okay. I'm going to need finesse rolls from all of you. Any qualities that you have that relate to sneaking or stealth or any of that, which none of you seem to have.
Acrobatic.
No. Fast runner?
No.
Damn. Yeah. Just, well, yep.
3
Well,
5s.
Ooh, nothing.
Oh, yeah. So that would be, sorry about this. My finesse is normal, so that's 46.
No, normal is
48.
48.
40. Damn it. Sorry. I'm going to put it on a post-it or something. Two sevens.
Ooh.
Okay, so Vivian's moving pretty, staying low and quiet. Lucas is a ninja. Steve's like, la la la, walking along. Max grabs you, pulls you down low. It makes you kind of stay down while you're walking.
Shit, right.
Okay, you have to pass by the boathouse. You see Drew is out on the docks overlooking a couple of the guys, including Lane, who seem to be trying to get the boats out from under the debris to get to work on them. They're not looking your direction, so you get by okay. And then you can make your way back up towards the abandoned building.
Sorry.
What's up?
Cat. Sorry. Sorry, my cat just sharpened his claws on my leg. I
Oh, no.
apologize.
Ooh.
Steve, Max, and Paige know how to get into the abandoned building. They were shown by Owen and Lewis the other day, so they point out where in the fence is weak and unwind a few of the metal ties, roll the fence back, let everybody in, put it back. Follow along the trail where you can see people come and go. It's worn a path down so you don't step on anything. Chip isn't sticking to the path, but he doesn't really necessarily need to. He's not thinking of it in the terms that you guys are, so he goes over to the building, and you kind of get the sense that he's seeing things the way they were, not the way they are now. And when he gets to the door, he slowly opens the door and peeks his head in. Looks around, opens it wider, and steps in. You guys follow him in?
Yeah.
He looks over near the fireplace, where those of you that have seen the films recognize is where the radio used to be set up. And it's not there now. And even the furniture isn't really there now. He looks over in that direction, doesn't seem to see what he's looking for, and then looks further down the hall. The rest of you can see that the hall is partly collapsed further down, and there are some rooms off of it between here and there. He's heading down the hall. You're keeping up with him?
Yeah.
Okay. He comes to a stop outside of a room that is near the end where it's collapsed at the staircase. And he knocks on a door lightly with the back of his hand, with his knuckles. Penny? And he opens the door and he says, "Is he around?" You don't hear an answer. He nods. "Okay, come on. Quick."
Okay.
Ushers you
I'll go
inside.
in. Yep.
Closes the door behind him.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in a decent sized bedroom, and there is a young woman who is sitting on the bed, up at the head of the bed, and she's sitting cross-legged on it, and she's rocking back and forth with her hands in her lap, and you can faintly hear a radio playing. But the room is in total disrepair. So the bed has debris on it. The floor is littered with pieces of ceiling. There's just scorch marks all up the wall by the window. But the music is coming from that wall with the window. So for them, and you're hearing it, there's a radio there. But you're not seeing it. And she's rocking. She looks over kind of sidelong at you guys. She has really thick glasses on. And is in a plain kind of a house dress or night dress. And it laces in the front and is tied. And she's just rocking and looking over curiously, having never seen you guys before.
Vivian's got her hand in her pocket. She's like convinced now that candy will solve just about everything. I got candy.
Hi. Hi, Penny.
Sorry, my eye, my eye itched. Okay, so when you hold out candy, she shakes her head. Doesn't look interested. You say her name, and she tilts her head and looks more at you, Steve. Still rocking, but you definitely have her attention.
Hey, I'm Steve. We want your help, you, Chip, and what's
Meredith?
Meredith. We were hoping you could help us stop what's been happening here.
Chip sighs, thumps the end of the bat down on the ground, or on the floor, leans on it a bit. They want to try to take him on. She looks up at him wide-eyed. I told him not to try. But maybe there's enough of them. I mean, that guy looks pretty big by himself. You know.
There's a lot
think
more
maybe-
of us.
She
Sorry.
looks around kind of behind Chip like she's looking for something. Oh, Mary, she's back at the fort. She nods. Still rocking. Shakes her head. I didn't think she would do it. She doesn't want to do it. I didn't think she would.
That's okay. That's all right. But would it be okay if we tried to stop him? I mean, even without you?
Can try, she says.
Do you know of any weaknesses he might have?
Steve, roll me your brains with a +1.
Okay. Two fours.
Okay. You do have a concern that you may need their help. That for this to actually work, you may need their involvement. That it's not you guys necessarily that are being victimized by this guy, it's them. And that without them being involved, you're not sure that it'll do anything.
Okay. Listen, Penny, I know this is really scary. Trust me, I know. I know how scary it is and what it's like to be afraid, but you can't, even when you are very afraid, sometimes you still need to act, and you still need to, if not face your fears, at least learn to exist with them. We really need your help.
Both of you. Vivian jumps in. We need both of your help. We really want to stop this guy. He sounds like a real dangerous person.
She says, I want a kiss. And Chip goes, oh, here we go.
From which one of us?
She's still rocking, but she shoots a hand straight out, pointing right at Lucas.
Lucas, your call.
How old does she look?
High school, late high school aged.
Late high school?
Probably 16 to 18, and you're like maybe 21, 22. I mean, she's not, it's not like, you know, a little kid. No, she's high school age.
The little kid's the one you kick. Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Alice kind of gives you a bit of a look, and roll me your brains and perception, Lucas.
With little details?
Yeah.
Okay. Pair of 7s.
You think for a second there's a flash of jealousy
From
in Alice's eyes.
In Alice's eyes?
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Okay. So I'm sorry, what was her name again?
Penny.
Penny, you know, I'm not really the kind of guy to kiss on the first date. Can I give you maybe just a little kiss on the hand?
Chip goes, I wouldn't push it, dude. Just trust me. This is the best you're going to get.
Vivian's just like, just what they do when they don't know they want.
Okay.
Doesn't have to mean anything.
Okay, Alice, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and like just.
As you move in, she's still rocking, but when you get within her personal space, her hands whip out, grab your head,
Oh shit.
and pull you in, and she is slobbering all over you, going for tongue and.
Lucas, you better give her some tongue back.
I'm taking one for the
This may be
team.
our only chance.
Taking one for the team.
Oh, wow. Okay. That got a little.
Chip
I thought
turns
this
his
was a
back and
piece
kind
of.
of rubs his back of his neck like he's not wanting to see this.
Yeah, this is kind of rough. There's a lot.
It's
There's a lot
got
going on here. I'm hearing.
So is
got
she still
PG.
going?
It's got PG-13 real quick.
You could try to pull away, and I won't make you roll for it.
Okay, okay, yeah.
When
I'm
you think
gonna-
enough time has passed.
I'm pretty sure enough time has passed.
Okay, so
Does
you
she-
pull back, and she kind of follows a bit forward after you and then slaps her hands down on the bed. It is like panting a little bit and just staring up at you. Like she's
Ooh.
going to just like devour you at any second.
Well, Penny, that was lovely.
Chip kind of shifts himself more in the line of view to break her view of you. Like, all right, okay, so he kept his word.
I'm gonna nonchalantly just kind of
Yeah, uh-huh.
wipe my lips.
So
Chip
does
mutters
that
something
mean
under his breath.
Does that mean we get your help then? Is that the kind of transaction? Okay.
She's back to rocking and fidgeting with her fingers in her lap,
Nice work, Lucas. Thank
not
you.
really looking up.
So, how do we do this? How do we get
What?
Mr. Mahoney?
What, you want to find him now?
How
I
can we defeat him otherwise?
There's only the two of them here. Remember, Meredith is back at the fort.
let's go get Meredith, and then let's.
Chip's
All
like,
of us
why do
do
we
it.
need to go get Meredith? What does she have to do with this?
Well, I think we need Meredith's help too. I think we need everybody's
She's a
help.
little kid. She can't help us.
I think it might be important for her to see that we're fighting for her.
This wasn't a part of what we talked about. You want her there?
I think it's going to be important for her to see it.
We intend to. We're trying to help, and we intend to defeat Mahoney. However we can, and it seems important to have her there as well as you two, and all of us.
I distract him. That's what I do to keep them safe. I keep him focused on me so he doesn't take things out on them. And you're wanting me to put both of them in danger.
No, we just want them there, not in harm's way. We will do whatever it takes. We'll put ourselves between him and all of you.
Maybe I should have asked for a kiss.
Vivian's like, well, I don't want to put Lucas through it again, but Steve and I are available.
I look at Max, see if she's jealous.
No,
I also look at Max to see if she's jealous.
no. Neither of you are my type, so don't worry about it.
And then we both sort of look at Max.
I think this will help. I think we can really make sure that Mahoney never hurts anybody ever again.
It just feels right to have everybody there. Chip,
Okay.
Has anybody ever tried to help you before?
No?
Oh, so much for my next question, which was what happened to them
I
if
mean,
they did.
we don't. It's like we wake up every morning and everything is foggy. And I don't know, I can't speak for them. You don't know what day it is, you don't know what year it is. It's like the same day over and over again. And nothing changes. And there are times when people come to the lodge and I don't remember talking to any of them. When they get too close to us, at least for me, I kind of black out. I don't know what happens. I just know that sometimes when I'm me again, I think I hurt somebody. Or tried to.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's blood. Yesterday there was a body. That was new.
What did you do with the body?
I didn't. He
Oh.
probably did. I saw the body and saw my bat, and I just ran. I don't know what happened. The fog takes over, and everything just becomes mist. And then I come out of it and find that, so...
Do you think that that's something Mahoney's doing to you?
I don't know if he's doing it. I don't know. I mean, I get that we aren't alive anymore because this isn't real. This isn't... How else, would any of this happen? I don't know if I'm in hell. I don't know if... But like I said, every day is kind of the same. And sometimes when it's not, I don't remember why it's not the same. And I don't remember what happened yesterday. I do vaguely recognize you. But I don't know why I recognize you. And
I think, yeah, we may have met.
And I don't know
yesterday.
what I did to that guy. I'm sorry, I don't know. I just know, like I said, that when people get too close to us, something happens. We aren't us.
Mhm.
And I know it's not just me because Penny and Meredith have had incidents too. And I don't know what happens. I don't know what we do. As far as I know, we've never killed anyone before yesterday. But Penny told me that she thought she hurt somebody really bad. And didn't want to talk about it and still isn't talking about it. So I don't know. I think you guys are getting closer than usual.
Do all of you know that you're not alive, or is it just something you surmised on your own?
I mean, and Penny's still right there in the room with you guys. I think Penny gets it. We don't talk about it, but I think Penny gets it. I don't think Mary does. I don't think she's old enough to understand what's going on. I think she knows something's different, but she mostly acts the same. So I don't know how much she gets. I'm almost certain he does.
Mm-mm.
But he's more focused on us than he is on any of you.
Do you understand why the fog hasn't come over you, even though we're close to you?
No.
Okay.
I remember trying to leave. I remember making it to the bridge and seeing the house catch fire. And there was so much fire and smoke so fast. And I wanted to go back, but I was afraid. And I also knew that I wouldn't be followed because that would get more attention than me. And so I just ran and ran across the bridge, found the road, and just ran down the road. And it was dark. It was night. And I saw headlights come around a corner, and I don't remember much after that. And then I woke up here again. And there are times when I see this place, he gestures the building around you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks different. And it looks like it got burned up bad. But right now, I don't see that. Most of the time, I don't see that. Most of the time, I see things the way they always were, and everything out more than maybe 20 yards is gray. It's fog. And the
Okay.
clear area kind of follows me.
Okay. I'm sorry you're going through that.
And then if I get too close to somebody, it all becomes fog. And then I wake up later and don't know what happened.
Okay.
So
Uh,
this is the first time I've been able to be around anybody, and you clearly are not from where I'm from, because your clothes are weird and your hair is weird and you have stuff on your faces and makeup that I've never seen, and that one's got metal in her face, and points at Max, who has a septum ring and lip ring and things like that. And he says, so I know that this isn't my world. If this is your world, I mean, around me it looks like my world, but you people aren't from my world. So I don't know how long
Okay.
it's been. I don't know how long we've been here. And I don't know that anything's ever going to change. It hasn't so far, but this has never happened so far.
Yeah, Chip, you've been dead a really long time.
I'm sure we have. I'm not surprised to find out that nobody really did anything. I mean, if they cared, we wouldn't be staying in the house. We'd be in the lodge with them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go get Mary.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to need rolls from you guys again to sneak back over.
Two fours.
Sorry, one last time. For
4d8. What?
48.
Are you
for
good at finesse or?
normal?
48. Yeah.
Yeah, 48.
48. Damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'd have the manual pulled up, except I'm using both my devices.
I have no
no.
matches. No matches.
Ooh.
And Vivian, no matches either? Okay, so last time 2 of you did and 1 of you didn't. This time 2 of you don't. And what I didn't state, but you're now going to find out, is if the majority of you were fine, the group was fine. If the majority
Oh,
of you
no.
didn't make it, the group... So as you're heading back, passing the boathouse, going back up to the tree line to go into the woods on the other side of the property where Mary's at the fort, you hear, "Hey! Get back in the house right now!" And both Chip and Penny's heads whip around, and they're staring up the hill a bit, and you see him.
Shit.
I promised that I would stand between that guy and them, so I move to go a little bit in front.
And he starts
Chip and Penny.
stalking down the hill, and he's got the chain in his hand, both hands,
Guys.
with the bear trap hanging off one end, and he's starting to swing that hand to get it wound up as he's moving
Guys.
forward.
We're not going to beat him without Meredith. We need to run.
And so Chip and Penny freezes up, but Chip grabs her and guides her in the direction of the woods and gets her running. But does not look back to see if you guys are fine, if you're following. His instinct is to protect her and get out. So you're on your own. And that
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to let you have one finesse roll where speed does help
Okay.
to see if you can make it to the tree line before he gets close enough to engage. And remember, you can spend genre points if you need them.
Oh shit! I got
No.
okay.
What does the genre
Imagine.
point do?
Well, first of all, before you roll, you can spend a genre point for an extra dice.
Okay.
And secondly, if you roll terribly, you can spend 3 genre points to roll again. And if you didn't spend your genre point for an extra dice the first time, you could the second time. So what did
Okay.
everybody roll?
I got no matches, so I'm gonna spend my 3 genre points to re-roll.
Okay, and you want to do 1 for a bonus? That'll take a total of 4 genre points. Where are you at right now?
Let me double check. Sorry.
Yeah, where is
I
everybody
think I
at
have a
right
pretty
now
high
on genre
number.
points?
I
You
got
should all
8
be over
genre
7.
points.
Huh?
I got 8 genre points.
Brooke?
10. We
Okay.
all had 10.
I have 9 total, so I'm
Okay.
gonna.
For 4, you can roll again and get a bonus dice. Or for 3, you can just roll again.
I'm gonna do 3.
Okay. None of you got a pair?
I got 2 1s and 2 3s.
It's not a kill
So-
scene yet, so you actually
Okay.
got 2 pairs.
Okay, I got 2. A
Okay,
pair of
cool.
1s.
Okay, I'm rolling.
On your second roll?
Yes.
Okay.
And on my second roll, I'm doing 68 because I did 4 genre points.
Right.
Oh, shit. Well, I got no matches.
How can you roll
Regardless.
68 and not get him? What did you roll?
6, 1, 2, 5, 7, 3. Can you believe that shit?
So you missed the
That's
4 and the
wild.
8, basically. Wow. Okay. So you spent 4. You had 10. You're down to 6 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to make you an offer. There are 3 supporting characters in this scene. Alice, Max, and Paige. You can spend 4 genre points to have one of them left behind in your place. Or you could enter a kill scene alone with Mahoney.
I will enter a kill scene alone with Mahoney because I couldn't do that to anybody else.
Okay.
I hate
Oh,
doing
man.
it, but oh,
Okay, so Alice, Max, and Paige are NPCs. I let them escape. If you choose not to throw one of them under the bus, then they make it out and you're on your own here.
yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
everybody.
So he's
but-
coming down the hill. You're going to need to get 3 survival points to lose him in the woods.
Okay.
But you will quite possibly be lost yourself even if you get away from him.
I just couldn't throw anybody else under the bus.
No, I understand. That's
not
fine.
Right. Especially Max.
Take a genre point. Take a genre point for that.
Okay. So now I got 7 at least.
Okay, I'm going to get to you in just a minute. You guys book it into the woods. And you're a good couple hundred yards into the woods following Chip and Penny before any of you realizes that Vivian is not with you.
Vivian? Vivian?
She's not here. You think you might have lost her out on the lawn. Do you continue following Chip and Penny, or is anybody going back?
I'll go back.
Okay.
Are you sure?
It's going to take you...
Steve, you're the only one who knows what's going on here. You go with them. I'll go back for Vivian.
It's going to take you 3 rounds to get back to Vivian.
Okay.
Okay? So in 3 rounds, you can help her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we cut back to Vivian. As Mahoney comes charging further down the hill, you look around and you realize you're not fast enough. The others have disappeared. And he is closing in on you, and that is where we will begin the kill scene. he launches the bear trap out in your direction as he closes distance. So you're going to need to roll finesse to get out of the way.
Okay.
And your acrobatic definitely comes in handy here. So
Okay, good. So 5d8,
yeah, 5d8.
2 4s.
Okay, so narrate this bear trap coming straight at your face, and what is it you do to get away from it?
So I took a lot of acrobatics classes when I was a little kid because I had this idea that I wanted to be in the circus, which meant I learned how to tumble and fall. So I see this big, gigantic fuck of a bear trap coming for my face, and I thank my lucky stars that I still remember how to fall. I take a tumble, I roll, and the bear trap snaps over my head.
Okay, so you tumble and roll and come out of it, back up to
And
your
what?
feet, and come back up to your feet?
Yeah, back up to my feet.
Okay.
Back up to my feet.
And there's a bit more distance between you now, and he's having to reel it in as he's still coming after you. So you get, that's round 1. Round 2, give me a roll to book it towards the woods. You have 1 survival
Get the fuck
point.
out of here.
You have 1 survival
Oh,
point.
2 8. 2 8.
2 8s. You're starting to put some distance between you and him. And he, however, is still chasing after. You have 2 survival points. You're into the woods and dodging trees. You know he's behind you somewhere. You can still hear him back there. Go ahead and give me 1 more finesse roll.
2 7s.
Okay. You just running and ducking around trees and going in the general direction that you saw them go finally put enough distance between you that you can hear the chain at first as it's swinging. You know, he's winding it up. And you can hear his footsteps. But after a minute, he slows and you hear the trap hit the ground with a thunk. And you can hear it scraping over the ground as he's now not running. He's stalking and dragging it with him, looking for you. And you don't see him. You can hear him out there a ways. He's a ways away, and you are currently away from him and safe. But you have no idea where you are. So the kill scene isn't quite over yet. You have your 3 survival points. Roll me brains. Perceptive is okay bonus.
Brains are, hang on. Normal. Normal brains. Okay. 4D. 46? Because that's what I...
Yes, 46. 5d6.
Oh, well, I got 2 3s with the 46.
Oh, your brains is normal. It's 5d8. Sorry.
Fuck, I'm so sorry. This is on me.
5d8. 5d8. It's okay. 5d8.
Always have this problem. 5d8. I got 3 2s and 2 3s.
Oh, wow, a full house. You
Nice.
see Lucas headed back in this direction like he's coming back for you. And you see a clear path for you to get to him before he gets too much further this way. And you see an exit, basically. If you can head over to him and cut him off, then you can not only keep him from walking right into a literal trap, but you can get to him and get him going back in the right direction.
I as quickly as I can, scoop up a handful of rocks and throw them in a completely wrong direction, hoping that the sound of rocks will distract Mahoney and send him off that way.
Okay, and Lucas, you hear that. And looking around, you catch sight of Vivian booking it as quietly as they can around the trees in your direction. And you haven't gone too far, so you know the direction to go from here.
Okay.
So you guys meet back up, and we will end the kill scene.
I assume I'm just like, fuck that guy. Fuck Mahoney.
Okay, so you head back in the direction that the others were going?
Yeah.
Okay, it takes you a minute, but you guys are able to find your way to the fort. You see it off in the distance and are able to get to the fort with the others. And they're all inside.
I feel so alive right now.
Okay. Everyone here? Everyone okay? Vivian, you okay?
Vivian feels like her eyes are going to pop out of her head and sort of roll around, but other than that, she's fine.
You wanted him. He's out there now.
Okay.
Chip says.
Everybody okay?
Chip, Penny, Meredith, I think we all need to go face him together.
Penny nods. She deals a deal. She made her deal. She got what she wanted. She'll do it. Chip does not want to do this, but he agrees. Meredith doesn't quite understand what is being talked about, but is like, okay, I'll go wherever everybody else is going. She's happy to come along.
Says, I take her hand.
Chip says, I want to lead him in a different direction, though, because if this doesn't work, and I don't think it will, I still don't want him to know about this place.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so they slip back out of the fort and start heading off in a random direction away. You guys follow after?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After a good few hundred yards away from the fort, Chip starts getting loud and making noises and, hitting thin branches with his bat and talking trash about the groundskeeper, making it clear where he's at and kind of baiting him. Still going in a direction away from the fort. You wind a bend, and further down there would be a trail. And standing on the trail, you see him. And he's standing down at the end of this little hill on the trail, looking up at you guys with the chain and the trap in his hand, staring directly at the three of them specifically, more than you guys. And this is where we will take our break before we come back to end the story. So go ahead and I noticed time got away from us a little bit here. We'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and have one last kill scene that will probably wrap this up, and then we'll do some wrap up after that.
Okay.
Sound good? All right.
Sounds good. See you soon.
Cool.
Welcome back to the finale of Slasher here on Tales from the Crips. We are about to have our last showdown of the story, it looks like. And so you guys come down the hill, and there on the trail, the hiking trail down at the bottom of the hill, you see him. He's got his chain and his trap ready to go. He sees you, and his desiccated skull-shaped visage just grins. A very nasty rictus grin. And Chip looks back at you guys, shakes his head. I can't believe you guys are getting me to do this. Fuck it. Ah! He goes charging down the hill, bat lifting, ready to go to war. He is.
I am right behind him.
Okay, you go charging down.
Yep.
Damn it, so's Vivian.
Penny goes charging down fairly behind Chip. So she's charging, but safely. And Meredith just starts, yeah! Just starts like cheering and yelling and charging down to, not knowing what's going on, but hey, everybody else is cheering and yelling, so she's going to do it. And Max is like, all right, cracks her knuckles, let's go. Starts stomping down the hill in her Doc Martens. Paige is fuck. Goes trudging after. Alice is kind of hanging back a little bit, but following. Because, to be fair, you did bring her for medical backup. So her getting into the thick of things is probably not the smartest thing for her to do. But she's taking up the rear and around, waiting for someone to get hurt.
Steve's like, shit, shit, shit. I didn't think this part through, and then just fuck it and runs at the guy.
Okay, so as you are charging down and he is stalking up, our kill scene begins as landscaping equipment, almost like almost like it's excavating itself from the earth, long forgotten, rises up to present some challenges for you. Because there's only one of him, and there's, what, now 7, 8, 9 of you guys? So you notice that he is still looking at the 3 kids and focusing mostly on them. But a classic step on a rake handle comes up kind of a thing, pops up right in front of Vivian. And unless you can evade it, you're going to get the handle of the garden tool to the head as you run right into it. A pair of hedge trimmers seems to almost kind of erupt from the bushes, opened wide and going straight for Lucas's neck. And Steve is now being chased down the hill by a lawnmower that is pushing itself. It's an old-timey, you have to push it lawnmower that's just basically nasty bladed wheels that you would hold the crossbar on and just push ahead of you, and it's coming down the hill straight at you from behind. Max and Paige see it and swerve in different directions out of the way. So, each of you are going to need to make some finesse rolls to avoid being hit. I am not giving you an escape number because you're not trying to escape the scene. You're trying to resolve the scene, and I'm not telling you how to resolve the scene. You're going to have to figure it out as you go through trial and error. So,
Pair of 6s.
Pair of 6s? 2 5s?
Can I use fast runner?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 3s.
Okay. You each manage to evade the obstacles that have been summoned in front of you in your directions. So Vivian is able to go around, and Steve is able to speed up and is outpacing the lawnmower at present. And Lucas is able to twist out of the way as the trimmers snap shut on air, whizzing past you. And you were getting closer to the base and the trail below where he is coming up from. Having avoided those, what are you guys doing now? Are you closing in on him? Are you putting yourselves between the kids and him, or what?
I'm running straight for him.
You're going straight for him.
Between the kids and him.
Okay.
I'm just making sure the kids can get to him.
Okay, so you're kind of pulling up behind the kids, and Vivian is putting herself more in with the kids, and it sounds like Lucas is flanking them. I just got an internet connection is unstable, notice. Okay. And Lucas, it sounds like you're flanking to kind of come at him from the side, maybe?
Yep.
Okay. And you're attending to just, what, run through him like you did to Chip yesterday?
Take him down. I'm going to tackle him. Yeah.
You're going to try to take him out. Okay. All right. He does not, at present, seem to notice you. He's focused solely on the kids and sees Vivian joining them and Steve coming up the rear. Snarls at this development. Roll your brawn with Brawler, Lucas.
2 6s, 2 4s.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So you, coming at an angle that he's not seeing, manage to do what? You're going to tackle him?
I'm going to tackle him. Yep.
You're going to tackle him. Okay, so you smash into him and tackle him to the ground, which derails him from what he was going to do, which was launch the trap forward. So the trap falls to the ground. The chain is still in his hands as you bring him down. And you are actually on top of him and are in a position to take an action against him while he is downed.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you are closing in with the kids? Okay. Lucas, what action do you want to take while you've got him down?
I'm going to punch him.
Gonna punch him. All right, go for it.
And his dumb face.
Yeah.
Pair of fives.
Pair of fives. You pop him in the face. And give more time for the group to come down and catch up. They are closing in. Chip has his baseball bat up over his head in both hands. And looks like he is ready to bring it down. You want to come out, Zelda? Let me let Zelda move. She's under my desk. Okay, come on, Zelda. Come on out. Good girl, Zelda. Okay, so he's going to be coming in to bring the bat down. The two girls that are with him are closing the distance as well. Penny looks like she's about to, kick. And you are still on top of him, Lucas. So are you going to... What are you going to do in this situation?
I mean, if they're all heading straight for him, I'm just going to roll out of the way.
You're going to roll out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't make you roll to roll out of the way. You can move out of the way. And Chip brings the bat down and smashes it into his stomach, which gets a dull, loud grunt. And Penny starts kicking him, in the thigh. And Meredith comes up next to him and starts kicking him in the shin. And Chip is raising the bat up again. Anybody doing anything, or are you kind of...
Oh, am I close enough to run and try to grab the chain?
You and Steve are not close enough to take actions, yes.
Okay, I'm going to run over there and try to grab the chain out of his hand.
Okay, you're going to try to pull the chain away from him?
Can I help Vivian?
Okay, so basically, which one of you, and the answer is neither, have better brawn. You both have terrible brawn. So one of you is going to be rolling brawn with a +1 from the other helping. So 4d10, 5d10. Whichever you're helping, so Vivian, 5d10.
Vivian, do you have any brawn positive qualities?
Not that would help here, no.
No. I have finesse. Okay, 5d10. Shit. Oh, 2 4s. I got 2 4s.
Okay,
4,
you're
4,
starting.
2, 9, 10.
You get a hold of the chain and you are pulling. And he is now in a tug of war with you while also getting blows rained down on him by the kids. And is having to choose between the two. He decides for the moment to let go of the chain so he can bring his arms up to protect against Chip's next swing.
Nice.
So he abandons the chain, brings his arms up, and as Chip brings the bat down, he catches it in his hands. And so the blow does not connect. He catches it in his hands, and they're now wrestling over the bat while the girls are kicking him. Lucas, you are still there in close. Do you want to take an action?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in and kick him too.
You're going to kick him too?
Yep.
All right, roll brawn and brawler.
Pair of threes, pair of fours.
Ooh,
You
nice.
tee up and get a good kick at his head because the girls are down his legs, kicking his thigh and his shin. And Chip's kind of in the middle of the torso with the bat having beaten on his torso and is now engaged in that tug-of-war with him over it. That leaves his head. So you get your second field goal kicking or punting practice, and you tee up and just smash the side of his head, which whips his head to the side, and Chip is able to pull the bat away from him and stagger back a few steps. So, Vivian, you have the chain. You and Steve have the chain with the bear trap in your hands. Chip has his bat free. The girls are still kicking. he has his hands free, but has been kicked in the head and is bringing his arms up more to kind of protect his head now. What are you two doing, Vivian and Steve?
Is there any way I can think of to like get his arms out of commission? Like, could I have duct tape is one of my items.
Oh,
Well,
you know
Not
what?
armed?
Oh, you fully have a gun.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, you got a gun.
Yep, I have a gun.
you have a gun on you, but Vivian and Steve are also holding a chain with a bear trap at the end of it that's open.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, the bear trap's open. Okay. Ooh. You know, he's a ghost. He's already dead, so it's not going to bother me too much to stick one of his hands in the bear trap and let it snap shut.
You want to put it
Maybe both of them.
on the nearest arm, basically?
Yeah, the nearest.
Try to hit him
hand,
in the nearest arm with it, or the hand with it? Okay. Go ahead and roll me brawn +1 if Steve is helping to push it.
Yeah, I'm helping.
Yeah. So
5d10 again?
5d10 again.
Oh fuck. No matches
Wow.
this time. Shit.
Okay, so as you bring it down, he brings his hand up and grabs it at the base of the chain in the back, catching it before you can get it too close to him. He slides his hand up behind it, and you're back into a tug of war with him over the chain.
Damn it. That wasn't the best idea I've had.
Chip is winding up to swing again. Lucas, what are you going to do?
You know what? I'm going to try to get that chain out of his hands.
You're going to help them with that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you go ahead and roll your brawn.
Okay.
Brawler does not help here.
So it'd be 46.
46, you're trying to disarm
Okay.
him, basically.
No matches.
Okay, so you get kind of tangled up with them in fighting over the chain. But there's now 3 of you pulling on the chain against his
Fuck.
1. The girls are still kicking. The bat comes down again. There's another woof of air from him as he gets hit and rolls a bit away onto his side, away from Chip towards the 3 of you. And he is pulling and then abruptly just lets go of the chain so that you guys are pulling, and then suddenly there's nothing and you'll go flying back. So you're going to need to each make a finesse roll to not go landing on your back as he lets go abruptly.
No matches.
You stumble and
sevens.
sprawl onto your back
No
of the
matches.
ground at the foot of the hill. Nothing?
No matches.
Steve?
I got 2 sevens.
You stay on your feet. You stumble back, but you stay on your feet. Vivian and Lucas both stumble back and go down onto their backs. Paige moves to help Lucas, and Max moves to help Vivian, try to help them get up. While that's happening, he's given up the chain and sees that Chip is going for another swing. He reaches a hand out and then gestures with that hand. And the shears that had just gone sailing by a minute ago are brought back, snapping apart into two halves of the shears, into individual blades with a handle that go spinning in the direction of Vivian and Lucas, and also therefore Max and Paige as they're helping you up. So I'll need the 2 of you to make finesse rolls to get up and away from that.
No matches.
2-8.
2 8s? Okay. Max gets you up onto your feet and pulls you out of the way as the blade goes sailing right past and sticks into a tree.
I say to Mahoney.
Paige turns herself puts her back to the oncoming blade and herself in between Lucas and it.
No.
And there's a jolt of her body as the blade comes out their chest.
Oh, Paige.
Fuck.
And they stare up at you, try to say something, but only blood comes up. Look down, and then just crumble to the ground.
Oh.
Oh my god, that's my best friend. What the fuck? That's my best friend, you motherfucker.
Steve, what are you doing?
Fuck it. Alice, try to help Paige, and then I run at Mahoney.
Okay, Lucas, what are you doing?
Am I on my feet?
You're on your feet, but yeah, you would have taken the blade if Paige didn't. So you're
Okay.
up.
You know what? I'm gonna pull out the gun. I'm going to click back the safety and take careful aim.
Okay, you're gonna take aim. All right. Alice starts to make her way down, trying to steer clear of the melee. Mahoney gets to his feet, sliding aside as Chip brings the bat down and hits the ground. He is up. The girls kick the dirt where he used to be. You have the gun, you're aiming. Steve, you're charging. Vivian, what are you doing?
Do I still have the chain? The bear trap? He let it go.
The chain is on the ground. Yeah, you have it.
It's on the ground?
You have it near you. You
Okay.
can grab it. Yeah.
I grab that fucking bear trap.
Okay, you're pulling
I
the bear
grab the
trap to you. Okay. Are you going to shoot Lucas, or are you going to hold to make sure that you don't hit anybody?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna take careful aim. So I'm not just gonna shoot blindly. I'm gonna wait until I have a good shot.
Okay. I will let you add a +1 per round that you hold your fire to aim.
Okay. And is that finesse?
It'll be finesse when you shoot.
Okay.
So you would be at 4d8 right now. If you don't shoot this round, you'll be at 5d8 next round.
I will not shoot this round.
Okay. So you're setting up to aim. Okay. Steve, what is it you're doing when you get to him?
I'm so mad. Paige is maybe dead. I don't know. I'm just fucking swinging at this guy.
Okay. Roll brawn.
I know. Braun is not my. I'll add a genre point.
4d10.
I'll add a genre.
You're spending a genre point?
5d10, yeah.
Yep, go for it.
Ooh, 2 6s right off the bat. 3 6s. 4 6s. Oh my
What?
gosh.
Wow.
No
4 6s.
way! That's all our good
For
luck. Oh,
real.
you better be good. You better be good with it. All our rolls are gonna be crap from now on out because you got all the good luck.
You come up and you throw the best punch you have ever thrown in your life because Max is
Fuck
watching.
you.
Oh yeah, because Max is there.
Yes.
And-
Because Max is watching,
you know,
and you want her to see you avenging Paige. So she's screaming, Paige, when she sees what happens. And you connect and you hit him so hard, his head whips around and he spins and drops to a knee. Which buys time
Ow.
for the next round here. Brooke, Vivian now has the bear trap. Lucas has had a round to aim. Steve has him knocked down to one knee, and he's going to have to take his action to get back up. So, what are your actions?
I mean, I'm
gonna
gonna
run
shoot
over
this
and-
round. Should I let Vivian go
Yeah,
first?
no, you shoot first.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot.
You see
Let's
he's
do
got
it.
the gun out, so you're staying back?
So,
Okay.
I'm hoping this works.
Any genre points?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 3 genre points to re-roll. No, wait. I got a pair of 2s.
Got a pair of twos?
Yeah.
Okay, so you fire, and it hits him in the shoulder, and he jerks to the side as he's trying to get up. It's not, you're not sure, first of all, if you can kill him with that gun, and you know for certain that shot isn't going to be fatal, but he seems to be able to be shot. Just like you can punch him, you can shoot him.
Okay.
It's just a matter of will it do anything, beyond slowing him down. So you get that shot in. Steve, what are you doing? Lucas has just fired the gun. Yeah, ow, 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 ow. Okay. Vivian, Lucas just took a shot.
Sorry.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna go try to smack him with the bear trap.
Okay. So you're going to shove it at him. Go ahead and roll me your finesse. Because he's not actively engaged with you. So you can actually aim.
2 5.
So 48.
It's a pair of ones that matters, right? Because I got 1 but 2 5s.
2 5s? Okay. So you bring up the bear trap and shove it at him, and he turns as it's coming in, and he takes it on the same shoulder that he just got shot in, which makes him snarl a nasty roar as he's now got this bear trap clamped onto his shoulder and collar, chest area, and his back. He just got shot there, and now this thing's bit into him. He is not having a good time.
Lucas, shoot him again. Lucas, shoot him again. Steve, punch him again.
You gonna move out of the way?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you do that and get it back out of the way. Lucas, are you firing again, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna fire again. Let's see. That's 48 and no matches.
Okay. Somebody roll me 6-sided and tell me what you get.
Okay. 4.
Okay. So you shoot and it hits the ground. You didn't roll 1, so you don't hit anybody else. You shoot, but it goes wide, hits the ground, takes a divot out of the ground. Chip sees an opening, drops the bat, and lunges forward to grab a hold of the bear trap and hits the release button on the back of it, the lever that releases. And yells, "Keep him busy!" as he opens the bear trap off of the guy's shoulder, preparing to do something with it, but you're not sure what yet. Lucas, Steve, and Vivian, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna kick him in the balls.
You're going to kick him? You're going to step up and kick him. Okay.
Yep.
Go for it.
Pair of 2s.
Pair of 2s. Okay, so you step up to kick him, and you hit close enough. You get the inside of his thigh, but it definitely causes a reaction, and he kind of lurches forward a bit. And having released the trap, you see what Chip has in store. He's lifting it up to bring it down on his head. He just needs one more round to be able to pull this off.
Okay, I'm gonna punch him again.
You're going to punch him again?
Yeah.
Go for it, Steve.
Can I spend more than 1 genre point to add more than 1 die, or is it just
No,
one?
it's just 1 per roll.
Okay. I'll spend
And
another genre
technically
point.
it's 1 per scene, but I'll let you have the last one for free because you were enraged by what happened to Paige.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
normally
I
you can only do
spend-
it once, but I'll let you do it twice because that was special circumstances.
Okay, cool. 2 8s. 3 8s. 3 8s. I am rolling so well tonight, guys. This is crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah, you are.
You come in and throw an uppercut that catches him under the jaw, and as his head comes up, Chip brings the bear trap down and smashes it on his face, where it snaps shut and blood spurts out the sides of his head as it hits his jaw, his ear, the sides, clamps down on each side of his face, his head, and snaps shut. With a crunch, you can hear bone, cracking. You can hear all kinds of wet noises as it digs in. Blood sprays out each side of his head. Like he goes rigid and crumples back onto the ground.
Hey, can I do a brains check to see if that's it, or is he gonna pop back up?
Go ahead.
Can I add knows about movies?
Yep.
Two fives and two sixes.
You get the feeling that if any of you had just done that, you might need to worry. But because Chip did it, one of them did it, they're beating their own monster, and that's what needed to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a vague fog kind of starting to filter through from the woods into the trail here, where you're all at the base of the trail, or the base of the hill where the trail runs along. And it's like a fog is kind of blowing in from the woods. And the three kids look at each other and then look over at you guys as the fog builds. And Chip gives a nod to you, Steve. Says, good punch.
Thanks.
I'd share a beer with you, but I don't think I'm going to be sticking around. And the fog builds, and Meredith, being the smallest of them, starts to disappear into the fog. The groundskeeper's body is covered by the fog. You don't know where he is anymore down there. And any more actions or things you want to say or do before?
I hope. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to give Meredith one more piece of candy if I can.
A little hand
When did
reaches out through the fog to take it.
I hope you find kinder people.
We did, Chip says. We did. And the fog envelops them and drifts off down towards the lake, leaving behind just the ground. None of them are there. Alice says, Steve, right? You're going to want to come. Quick.
Shit. I rush over.
She has one hand pressed to Paige's chest and one hand pressed to Paige's back. The blade is gone. The half of the shear that had impaled them is gone. And Alice is doing what she can to keep pressure on both sides, but there's damage all throughout, and blood is just gushing through her fingers. I can't. There's nothing. And Paige coughs, shaking their head, and looks up at you. Says, it's okay.
I take Paige's hand.
Max comes over too and is right next to you.
You're the best thing that ever happened to this movie. And you're the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm going to miss you so, so much.
When you say the best thing that happened to this movie, they laugh and cough up blood. That makes them laugh. Because the first thing you're thinking of is the movie. And that's just you. They laugh and close their eyes and nod a little bit with a weak smile. And they look at you. And then they look over at Max. And Paige says, idiot likes you but can't say it.
What? Paige? Oh, you're dying. Sorry.
Oh, and does Vivian hear this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
And Max covers her mouth and nose with her hands, and tears are just streaming. And kind of side looks at you briefly, but is keeping focused on Paige for the moment for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And leans down to just rest her head, big frizzy head, against Paige's shoulder and pulls you in to hug Paige too. And just holds the three of you there while Paige goes. And for a moment or two after. She lightly releases the back of your shirt where she had grabbed a hold of you and rocks back to sit up on her knees. Rubs at her face. Is a mess. Turns. What are you doing, Lucas? Or I mean, Steve.
I'm just sobbing, like fully, like ugly cry, tears, snot, like really
Sitting
bad.
up too, or still down on Paige?
Down on Paige, and then once I see Max is gone, I like hug Paige a little bit more and then sit up.
Max reaches out with her fingers to close Paige's eyes. And then turns to look at you and lifts her hands gently to your jaws, to your cheeks, and leans in to kiss you.
I kiss her. I'm still crying. It's kind of gross, but I kiss her.
Help me carry them back.
Yeah.
And she moves and scoops up under Paige's shoulders from below to lift head and shoulder end so you can grab the feet.
Yeah.
And
You
we'll
know,
help you carry Paige back.
You know, Paige would probably want you to have their neck bone.
Max laughs. I'm not doing that, dude. That's wrong. Lucas, what are you doing?
Okay, so we've got like the three of us. We've got Max and Paige, and we've got Alice is also left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know
You
what?
just saw what happened with Max and Paige and Steve. I'm sure everybody was watching. It was a moment.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go up to Steve and be like, "I'm sorry, man."
Yeah, me too.
And they're carrying her, well, the two of them, Max has Paige's upper half, and Steve's
Yeah,
got
the
the
feet.
legs. Yeah, got the feet. And they're carrying Paige, taking good, gentle care of them. You kind of get the idea that they would rather carry them back rather than ask you to do it when you could do it by yourself. It takes both of them to do it, but this is their friend and Steve's best friend, and
Yeah.
so they've got it under control. When you watch them go, Alice comes up out of nowhere and goes up on tiptoes and tries to kiss you.
Okay, let's.
You let it happen. Okay. Throws her
I was
arms around your neck.
surprised. I'm like, okay, let's.
Throws her arms
Yeah.
around your neck to just give you the biggest, like, most desperate kiss. She is shaking. She's still, like, so freaked out and half panicked. But you can tell that she's been holding that back for a while.
Okay.
And now you know who she's into. When Ty asked you who Alice was into, it was you.
Okay. Now I know.
And then she kind of leans into you to have your arm around her to walk back.
Let's do it. Put my
Okay.
arm around her, kind of lead her.
And Vivian,
lead her back.
what are you doing?
Vivian has awkwardly hugged everybody because, you know, Vivian's awkward and like just wanted to give everybody hugs. She's, you know, watched the whole thing go down, and she's just gonna, I guess, kind of trail behind everybody back to the hotel.
As you guys make your way back towards up the trail and back towards the lodge, you're nearing the lodge. You hear, as you're going up the trail, before the lodge comes into view, you hear a helicopter that's getting closer and closer.
Now the helicopter comes.
And as you come up the trail and you can see the lodge up at the top of the hill that overlooks the lake, you see the helicopter land on the lawn. And it is a evac chopper from the hospital in the town 45 minutes away. It's not a big town, but they have a hospital and they have a rescue helicopter because it's the only hospital in this region. And so apparently, as you're coming up the hill, somebody got communication going because there's the evac, helicopter for the person with the broken leg being taken away. Deputy Fang is helping them get loaded up and talking to the helicopter crew as they're loading the housekeeper up, and Jane's going to go with them. He sees you guys coming and sees you carrying Paige and stays the helicopter for a minute. Comes jogging over. As he gets closer, he can see that you're not carrying someone that could be helped, and slows his sprint a bit so that he's walking as he meets you. I would ask what you guys were doing away from where you said you'd be, but I'm kind of going to assume that whatever you just came back from is why my radio started working about 10 minutes ago. They've been trying to reach me this entire time. I've been trying to reach them this entire time. Couldn't hear each other. 10 minutes ago, I hear my radio kick on. I left it on static, and 10 minutes ago, I hear dispatch looking for me. That was you, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
This get resolved?
Yeah.
I'll take statements later, but right now that's all I need to know. They're already sending a road crew to clear the bridge. We should be able to get off the island by dinner. Let's get your friend somewhere where we can set them down and make sure that they're in good shape when we can get them out of here later.
Yeah.
And he goes to offer to help, but sees the way you two are carrying them and decides not to. Doesn't want to interrupt. And gestures up the hill for you guys to take them up to the lodge. Looks to you,
Yeah,
Vivian. Fang looks to you and says, so we're good? It's over?
You talking to me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fang
okay.
is Deputy Fang is
Vivian
looking at Vivian because
Vivian's a little overwhelmed.
you're the adult in the area that's most responsible for all of this. So you think it's over? Yeah.
I think it's resolved. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk later. Shakes your hand, Lucas. Pats Alice on the shoulder and the departing Steve and Max on the shoulders as they go. And you take Paige up and settle them in. They are going to clear out the freezer and move Paige onto one of the beds in the freezer, in the walk-in freezer, and set them down carefully on the walk-in, or on the bed. Pull a blanket up over most of them and just kind of set them up there where they won't decompose too fast. Because they want to have, if people want to have a viewing or whatever later, they want to keep the body intact. You find out they have found the bodies of the others. They were in the supply shed that is used for the groundskeepers and maintenance. And basically it's this old barn that's a small structure off the back of the lodge, removed a bit, that is where all the equipment and the tools and the lawnmowers and all of that go, and all the maintenance gear and everything. The bodies have been stockpiled there. and were hanging up by their feet, like they were being hung up to bleed out and, be emptied. And they found Mike, the groundskeeper, Drugan, kitchen manager. They found the missing boat mechanic. They found Felix. And they found the one housekeeping person that was missing. So there was 5 bodies there. They were too decomposed over a day and a half to bring in and put in the freezer for any real value. So they didn't. They left them there so that it can be a crime scene. They can take photos. Can't help them now, kind of a thing. But Paige, being very freshly passed, they could still preserve. So they do that. And the spring break weekend ends a bit abruptly, obviously. Because the charter buses aren't scheduled to come back and get you guys until the end of the weekend, you're allowed to stay there, free room. Yeah, you've already paid for it, so you may as well stay there until they come and get you. All of you have already paid for your rooms and everything. The hotel staff have lost 3 of their own, but they do their best to try to make you guys comfortable and comforted during this as well. When Alice and you get a chance to talk later, Lucas, Alice does admit that they've liked you for a while, but they didn't know where your interests were, and they're shy and weren't going to push. But after what they just saw happen, they couldn't not do something. When Paige used their dying words to basically tell Max about Steve, they're like, fuck it, I have to take the risk. So that's why they did what they did. And they understand if you're not into them, they won't push it, but they had to at least let you know. And depending on your reaction as to whether or not they're around you for the rest of the week or not, if Lucas seems open to it, then she hangs out.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. So Alice hangs out. And you find when you get in that Lane is doing an actual being posed for portrait, head and shoulders portrait of Tam. And they're talking and kind of flirting while he's drawing her, and he's doing a really nice portrait. He can't draw her like one of his French girls in front of everybody, but But he's doing a head and shoulders portrait that's really nice and really pretty. And they seem to be connecting and flirting a bit. As awkward as that is for Lane, Tam's going easy on him, but she seems to kind of like him. And everybody's kind of paired off and in their groups and everything. Lewis and Owen check in on Vivian, make sure Vivian's okay. Ask, that you need anything, let us know. We'll be there. And so the rest of the week goes rather solemnly. There's a memorial held for those that were lost. And everybody gets to say some things about the people they knew that they lost. I'm sure Bug leaves a can of bread in tribute.
Bug.
Opens a new can of bread and just kind of...
People decide that they're going to put some things in one of the rowboats that are like offerings to those that were lost, and they're going to set it out into the lake and burn it as a tribute. Since they can't burn the bodies, it's not theirs to do anything with the bodies. They're going to do that. Once the bridge is cleared later,
the whole bag full of peanuts into the boat.
into the boat.
I tossed some candy in.
And some of the guys from the fraternity put some stuff in for Felix. Some people from the staff put some stuff in for Droog and Michael and the housekeeper, and the boat mechanic. I don't know their names off the top of my head.
And I think somebody put a baseball bat in there too. And I tossed the candy in, and then what was Penny's? I don't remember what Penny's thing was.
Penny got the kiss from me.
Oh, that's right. Penny got a kiss. So
yeah,
you just throw in like
So you're just putting Lucas, putting Lucas on the pyre. No, wait.
Yeah, Lucas on the boat. Take that. So I like that.
Max
Blow locust. Yep.
walks up solemnly holding the head.
Oh. Really?
Stands
Are
there
you
at the
sure?
boat, holding the head, looking down at it, looking at the boat. Bends over, puts the head down. Go have some fun with it, Paige. It's yours now. Make me proud. And then she leans
I
into
just
you, Steve.
I give her the biggest kiss like ever. I'm just like, wow, that was so sweet. That's amazing.
And they, using a squib to ignite the boat once it's out a distance from shore, light it up. And you get to watch it as it burns and sinks slowly into the ocean or into the lake. This is the next night. All the bodies have been taken off the island and being preserved and prepared and whatever. The rest of the week goes by. Rest of your days go by. And you go to sleep on the final night of the weekend there. And each of you, wherever you are, Max is probably rooming with you now, Steve. And Alice probably would sneak in with you if allowed.
I'm gonna kick Lane out.
Lane, that's fine. Tam and Alice are rooming, so Lane just goes to Tam's room. They just swap. You can have my roommate, I can have yours. As you guys go to sleep that night, there's a lot of weight, but there's a sense of finality to it as well. That you survived this, you came through the other side. Each of you wake up. And the first thing that you become aware of as you're laying in bed is that you're looking up at a ceiling that is not the ceiling that you were looking at when you went to sleep. And as you think about everything that's happened, you realize that your memories of what happened that week are very real. You have those memories. But everything that came before, it's not actual memories in that you could relive them. They're almost like postcards. Like just still shots of, this is me at my 10th birthday, or this is me on prom night, or this is me at graduation, or you know what I mean? They're almost like Polaroids with a little note written on the back, and you know the events around them, and you know the context, but you don't remember them happening. You just have the image and the knowledge that they happened. But everything that happened on the island was very real. You have the full memory. And the ceiling is different. And the bed is different. The bedding. It's very... You're not in a comfortable lodge bed anymore. You're on a single twin bed. It's very basic. The blanket, the sheets, it's nothing to write home about. It's not fancy. It's not comfy. And your room is small. And it's dark. So you can't really see very much. And as you sit up, your movement turns the lights on. And you see that you are all in very Spartan, very no frills, a bed in a room. There's no dresser, there's no window, there's no items. It's just a bed in a small room and a door. And you open the door and you look out. At the same time, the others are looking out. But not just the three of you. Other people from the island. People that you recognize. And you are all looking up and down a single hallway with doors on opposite sides. And you've never seen this place before. It's a dead end at one end, and at the other end, the hall turns and you don't know where it goes. And you're all looking around and looking at each other from door to door. And you notice that there is something on your doors. You see it across from you first before you see it on your own. Each of your doors is engraved with an image. In fact, if you have ever seen one before, you would recognize them as tarot cards. And as you look at your own to see which one it is, we are going to end this episode. And this story. We have completed Slasher. You are now in the facility. What that is, where that is, why it is yet to be seen. As are your individual cards that are on your doors. All right, so we are done with our first story. Yay!
Very cool.
Good job, everybody. That was well done. I think
That was very fun.
I think that went
Sorry.
well.
Oh my god.
That was
And-
great. Didn't get to make out with Max, though. That bums me out.
Paige dying? Oh no. I'm gonna be sad
I
about that all week.
I'm sorry.
That was great.
It was
Great.
a
really
good
fun.
send out. Yeah.
Paige basically did what Max did in the old version of this. Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to say that Vivian was doing on her own, because I thought there was going to be like a wrap up or something like of our lives, was she's making a little paper mache girl in a tutu
Oh.
Okay.
in her room. That, she got very attached to Meredith very quickly.
Awesome. Okay, so I think that was pretty good. I think we had fun.
Yeah.
Everybody had fun. I hope
Yeah.
people watching it
Yeah.
had
Oh,
fun.
God, yeah.
It was a little faster than I wanted. Like I said, I'll be discussing with you guys, and we'll have some updates for the audience later, that the format's going to be changing a little bit here. This is our first time doing this, session by session, and I've learned a lot from it, and there's a lot of things I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm not going to overhaul it completely. If you enjoyed it, don't worry. It's not going to be a huge change from what you've seen. If anything, we're probably just going to be adding some breathing room to it and giving a little more time for things to develop, so it's not quite as condensed and rushed. It was a little more rushed, especially in the final episode, than I would have liked. But that's what we're doing this for, is we're learning and figuring it out as we go. So I think everybody did a great job. I am so thrilled to have done this with you guys. You guys were awesome. And let's go ahead and we'll end things here for the episode. Thank you guys. Thank you, audience at home. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, tell your friends, and come back for more stories. Come back to find out what the facility is. And there will be more stories after this here on Tales from the Crips. Goodbye.